Welcome to our, okay, you started off, sorry, go for it.
Welcome, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Jojo Bang, your Sergeant at Arms for this meeting. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the District 21 Executive Committee meeting. Please welcome our District Director, Songbo Di, our meeting chair.
Thank you. There you go. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. First up, we're going to start the meeting. I will recognize our Program Quality Director, Michael Bound, DTM, to read the district mission. Skip through a couple slides. Oh, yeah. Hang on. We'll get that. There we go.
Mr. District Director, the district mission is we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon and welcome. We have we do not have any, we have one special dignitary who is online. And there is so I'd like to recognize her. We have one past district director, distinguished Toastmaster, Carol Carter. Please give her a warm welcome. Carol. I'm sure she's standing up waiting. All right. A special thanks goes out to all those Toastmasters who have agreed to serve during this January 2019 District Executive Committee meeting. Our Administration Manager, Jojo Bound, who is also our Sergeant at Arms for this evening. So I'll give her another warm round of applause. And our timer for this evening is going to be our Finance Manager, Mark Harrell, DPM. Thank you to all you wonderful, dedicated members of the District 21 Executive Committee and to all our amazing assistants. Thank you all for attending and thank you for all the work that you've done. We appreciate you joining on this combined in-person and virtual online meeting. Another first for District 21. The business that we conduct today is done to support all that you do to make the clubs and the committees you serve successful and to keep the Toastmasters program in our geographical regions in British Columbia. You are the face of Toastmasters International to your people. First of all, let's have a credentials report. I'd like to call on our Administration Manager, Jojo Bound, to let us know if we have a quorum this afternoon.
District Director, to vote on any business before the District Executive Committee this afternoon, we need 1/3 of our committee person. The committee consists of only area and division directors, plus our immediate past district director, the district chair, our PR manager, administration manager, and finance manager. No passive votes are permitted at this meeting. I report that of our 49 Decm member, our current have 27 in person, past the online 5. We make the percent of the quorum.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to move on. Thank you for that. Thank you. Who's going to be able to read that? Can't possibly read that. You have to turn around. Okay, we now have the meeting standing rules read. We'll now have the meeting standing rules read by our acting parliamentarian for this meeting, Michael Bound, DTM.
Thank you, Mr. District Director. You are right, and I apologize to those joining us on camera not be able to see me, as I need to refer to the wall that's very small over there. So each member of this district committee in attendance is entitled to 1 vote. A voting member has the right to move a motion, second a motion, speak in debate, and to vote. All other members may, when recognized by the chair, speak in debate. They may not move a motion, second a motion, or vote. So that's or the retention extension chairs for a area or division. Not eligible to vote, but you can speak in debate. And next screen. Main motions shall be in writing, signed, and given to the administration manager before the meeting. The format there is up on the screen. That had to happen before the meeting started, so if anybody did have a motion, hopefully you had a chance to give it to Jojo. Otherwise, it will have to be at the next meeting. Members wishing to speak must rise, wait to be recognized, state their name, and entitlement to vote by speaking. So, before speaking. So, if you are an area or division director, just identify that when you stand up. Show your entitlement to vote. No member may speak a second time, which includes asking a follow-up question unless and all who have desired to speak a first time have had the opportunity to do so. Each member may only speak twice for a motion. It should be noted that a clarification information request will not be considered a turn to speak. So if there's a misunderstanding, that is not a turn to speak. You can just ask for clarification on what whoever up front has explained. Limit your time to speak to no longer than 2 minutes. I didn't catch who the timer was, Sean?
Mark.
Okay, Mark's the timer. Thank you. Yeah. So Mark will let you know when your 2 minutes is up. And we will be using Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Mike. If there is no objection, the standing rules is distributed and read and displayed on a screen will be observed for this meeting. I know, I went back intentionally. Hearing no objections, the standing rules as presented are adopted for this committee meeting. All right, move on. Adoption of the agenda. So the agenda for this evening, please take a look at it. The agenda of today's meeting was made available to all of the members of the District Executive Committee by email and is now showing on the screen. May I have a motion to accept the agenda as circulated? Glenn Williams. You can write that down. Okay. And seconder for that.
Gordon Campbell.
Thank you, Gordon. Okay. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor? Fine, we'll get it. Opposed, if any? And it's carried. Thank you very much. Okay. The minutes of the September 16, 2018 District 21 Executive Committee meeting were provided to all of you by email, and a printed copy might be in front of you, might not be. I don't know if you have one. Are there any corrections to the minutes that were sent out for the District Executive Council meeting on September 16th? Yes, Michael.
Excuse me, 3 corrections. One is in the designation under my title, under the Division C Director section. It should be ACS-ALB. And with the date of the act, it says Saturday, January 27th. It should say January 26th. And then in section 12 under the announcements, we have the DECM, which is today's meeting, as January 6th, 2019, but it should be January 5th.
Thank you for that. You catch all that? All right.
I think at the meeting we did announce that it was going to be the 6th, though. I think it was misannounced.
But not sure. Okay, so the correction should have been that we should have captured it in that it was corrected or changed. Maybe. It was a valid one.
And the last business you did last 2018, January 6th, so I corrected to 2019.
Thank you for that. There was a partial correction, but it was 2018. Is there any other corrections to the minutes, or to the to the minutes from September 16th? That was really good. Then I would like to amend the motion. Could we have an amendment to the motion I'll call for a motion to adopt the minutes as corrected. So can I get a motion for the minutes as corrected? Sal, seconder? Jennifer. All right, any other discussion on the minutes? All those in favor?
Jennifer's not a voting member.
Vote.
She can't second.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Jennifer can't second it. Right. Not Jennifer. I need a seconder who is a voting member. Okay. I got the holding. All right, now all in favor of the minutes as corrected. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Moving along. District leader reports. First up, Thank you all for attending. This is wonderful. I appreciate you all being here. This is really good to have you all in attendance. First of all, we have a couple of changes, and I'd like to make sure that we recognize and acknowledge the changes. There are 2 area directors who have stepped down. One of them has been replaced, and that is the Area 13 area director is now been replaced by Stephen Leung. So I'd like to add him. He's been added as an area director, and I think I need a motion. Do I need a motion on that? I need a motion. I'm going to move. I need a motion to accept
the appointment. So
to approve the appointment of Stephen Leung as area director for Area 13. David Ajwa, yes, and seconded by. Thank you. Any questions or discussion? All right, all in favor of accepting Stephen Leung as the area director for Area 13? Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, thank you all. We have an incredible group. We still have, by the way, one more gap to fill, and that's an area director for Area 41, and that we'll be filling that one shortly. Current status. Okay, our current status is we're behind. We're behind a lot on our goals, on our targets. We had a target of 154 new clubs, or 154 clubs. We're currently running at 130, so we're 24 behind. So that's not a good thing. We're 24 back because we have a lot of clubs that have not yet attained their membership requirements, getting at least 8 members in order to be recognized as a valid club. So we need to have that. We need to work on that. We need to help those clubs out to achieve that. We also had a number of clubs that de-chartered. Those were done mostly before our year started, in the prior to June 30th. But there still carryover and have an impact. Bottom line is we're down 24 clubs. We're down 16 clubs from where we ended last year, and we're down 24 clubs from our goal. We need to work on getting some new clubs. The district charter and district mission, the district mission is to build new clubs and to support all clubs in achieving excellence. And building new clubs is an important part. If we don't continue to focus on building clubs, we will lose clubs. It's a reality, and we will not be able to make up. So we need to do some work on that. We also need to get 5,600 member payments. That's member payments, not members. So each member typically gives 2 payments in a year. That counts as 2 member payments. So we have about, if you take what we have currently and multiply it by 2, then we're about 900 member payments short. It means we need about 450 members if we were going to get 2 payments out of them. So that means we got to get that 2 payments between now and March in order to get those numbers up for March. That's a focus we need to do. So we've got some challenges ahead of us. We have some clubs that are not in great shape. The clubs that are doing really, really well, but we have clubs that are sick and that they need some support. We also have some clubs that need a lot of help. And so we're looking at providing whatever means that we can to provide them with the help that they need to keep them going and keep them healthy. But we have clubs that are really just have died, and there's nothing more we can do for some of them. So this is the focus. And I'm looking for all of you to provide help and guidance and whatever you can from the district in order to help these clubs, because they're struggling. Now, we have some good news, though. We have a lot of accomplishments we've made. We've got 3 new clubs that we started. That's a lot further than we were last year, and we have a long way to go. So we've got a number of clubs in the offing. You'll hear about that from our club growth director in her report. So that's an exciting thing, and really we should be congratulating ourselves about that. We had our first virtual district council meeting, which was an incredible feat. We were so successful in that, and so many other districts had challenges, problems, and ours just seemed to work really well. I'm not sure what the difference was. I do know that we did some really good things and it worked out really well. We did the Fall Leadership Fair. That was an amazing event. The Fall Leadership Fair, I hope you guys appreciated it. It was to take place of the have a fall. So we're supposed to be focusing on doing things that will help the district. And as I said earlier today, before our district executive council meeting, the things that we are doing around vision, and that vision is leadership within our club. Another wonderful set of train-the-trainer programs led by Michael Bound, and have a lot of really good trainers that are ready now for the ACTs coming up in January. So that's very exciting about that. The RA, the regional the area director visits that took place have taken place. We had about 80-some%. But we have the area director, a fairly good turnout. Over 80% of all of the area directors' clubs were visited, so that was very exciting. And we have our Sundays, which we've been doing. And Michael has done an awesome job in having those seminar Sundays every Sunday. I mean, that is a major feat. I can't believe he's done it that much. So it's really, really amazing. And we have our 2019 conference is well in hand, and our 2020 conference is also well organized, and we'll be talking about it later. And Michael will be talking. Is that our focus and challenge for this year is to drive getting some new clubs, building that strength back up. That's what we need to be doing, focusing on that growth and the support and strength of those clubs. And our goal is to become distinguished. And we still have that opportunity to do that. We have the banner sitting there in my garage ready to be hung up in public and to recognize for it. We have some challenges, but we're in the part of the year where we're coming out of the doldrums, part of the session where we now have built up some critical mass. We have people on board. Our club growth director has a full set of people in all of the divisions to provide support for building new clubs. And we're ready to go. And we have 3 new clubs already, so it's really exciting. We can become a distinguished district this year. It all depends on how much we're prepared to do. And we have the ability and we have the strength to do that. So please do what you can to help out and just keep up the positive work. Really appreciate that. So with that, Michael Baum.
Thank you very much, Mr. District Director. Fellow leaders. Training. I want to cover training first. Thank you all for your hard work in organizing the training of club officers and, of course, for attending today the district leader training for those of you in attendance. And for those of you joining online, we'll certainly catch up sometime very soon as well. The club officer training second round is almost at its midpoint. It starts December 1st and goes through to February 28th, so mid this month will be the middle of the training period. For those of you that have not organized the makeup training yet, please start looking at those. The earlier you can get dates and everything to the clubs, the more beneficial it's going to be for them because they can put that in their calendars and block out that time. For those of you that still haven't run your ACTs, I'm really looking forward to traveling to wherever the ACT happens to be and putting on some really high quality training for the officers to help them achieve excellence in their clubs. Please also make sure, last reminder on training, to add any makeup training to the District 21 website, the events section on the website. So that way officers can navigate to the District 21 site, see where the training is, or speech contests, or whatever event we have coming up. Just go on, add it. It just takes a few moments to add. Speaking of speech contests, we have those coming up as well very shortly. We'll be doing training later today on speech contests. The goal is always to leave 2 weeks between each level of speech contest. The idea there is that gives the contestants time to practice and prepare for the next level, but it also gives us time to transition to the next level because, of course, especially when it comes to the district level, certain people may or may not be able to get there. Last conference, we had to go quite a ways down the list to actually get a contestant for one of the contests for one division because the first 7 people couldn't make it to the conference. So these kinds of things happen, and it could happen at your division level too, where you've got an area champion that can't make it for whatever reason, the night doesn't work, and therefore the earlier you can get those done and out of the way, the more time you have to sort out who the contestants are and for them to prepare for the, as people go up the contest ladder, the challenge becomes greater and they have to polish that speech even more and more. So the goal is 6 weeks out to be doing the club contests, 6 weeks, 4 weeks the area, and 2 weeks the division. So please pass that on to your clubs and also consider that in the scheduling if you haven't already scheduled the contest. I know at least a couple of contests I have heard dates already, so just make sure those are on the website if they're not already. Success. I want to touch really briefly on this. Make sure you're touching base with your clubs as well about how things are going with their club success plan and are they on track for distinguished at the end of the year. Now is a great point halfway through the fiscal year to touch base with those clubs and make sure that whatever they set out to do in July, they're halfway there or more. And that way they'll ensure that they'll reach the goals that they've set for themselves. Conferences. You heard it. 2019, of course, will be April 12th to the 14th at the Cascades Casino Resort. That's the name. Coast Hotel at the Cascades Casino Resort in Langley. It's going to be a great event. CEO Dan Rex is coming all the way from Denver to be our keynote speaker. He's a funny guy, good speaker, as one would expect, being CEO of a global education organization. He's got some great stories that he's going to share, and I encourage all of you to come and also talk to your clubs. I have registration forms. I'd love to get everybody here registered if you can. If you can come, those dates work, that would be appreciated. If you can't make that, the next one is proposed to be in Nanaimo, April 23rd to the 26th, 2020, which will be presented under new business for us to decide. And finally, I just wanted to remind everybody of the various incentives and initiatives that we have going on right now. So of course, we've got the 7 out of 7 trained, which deadline is February 28th. Encourage those clubs to come out and get trained. There's a nice ribbon and a draw as well in there for them. For 1 of 7 club officer pin sets, which are worth 60-something bucks now, US, pretty solid. Plus shipping and all the other expenses.
And duty.
And duty, yeah. The pathways by level 3 by the conference will be giving out some jackets for people that get level 3. So up to 3 jackets to be won. Keep working towards that level 3. It's not, you got your level 2? Okay, congratulations. So that's totally obtainable. It sounds, whoa, all the way to level 3, but level 1 is 4 speeches, level 2 I think is 3 or something. So it's relatively quick to move through the Pathways program, one of the benefits of the program. And finally, distinguished by April 20th, we're going to do 1 of $300 gift certificates for our club, 1 in each geographical region. So please encourage your clubs to go out and take on these incentives. And if you have any questions, please come see me after the meeting. After the meeting.
After the meeting.
Mr. Director.
Thank you very much, Michael. And now a word from our Club Growth Director, DTM, and distinguished Toastmaster, Jan Ireland.
Thank you, Sean. In the district mission, which is we build new clubs and help all clubs achieve excellence, the responsibility of the Club Growth Director is building new clubs. Also in helping retain clubs that are struggling on the other side, but definitely building new clubs. And what a learning experience that is. And I encourage everyone to work on that, have a try. Again, this is where we stand, and I, in my role, essentially building new clubs means that we need to have more. A goal for any organization is to have more clubs, more members in the year going out than you had going in. Leave things better than you found it. So that's, again, that report. We can build new clubs, and we have built new clubs. And the resources that we have had that are remarkable this year, over here you'll see a book, and it's called A Handbook for Building and Sustaining Vibrant Toastmasters Programs in Corporations, written by past international president Pat Johnson. What a wonderful gift this book has been for me in that role. And I encourage everyone to consider getting one for your division or area, because you are all extension chairs in your own division and area. There's, I think, $16.95 US from Toastmasters International plus shipping. The insights in that book are highly valuable, not just for starting new clubs, not just starting corporate clubs, but how to effectively conduct the business of operating Toastmasters clubs. A lot of great messages there. Also, there's a gentleman whose name is Rick Furbush, who is from Florida. He made a video, among other things, a YouTube video on conducting a demonstration meeting. Highly insightful as well. He cuts to the, in a 1 hour meeting, he cuts to the reason why people have fears and needs to be Toastmasters and how to make them realize and want to join in a very short period. In one meeting, one person can hold a meeting and start a club. And he has done that. When he established this method, in the first year after that, he started 180 clubs. So I encourage everyone to look up Rick Furbush. Just Google him, YouTube video, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. Best time spent. Wonderful support that we get in Toastmasters. There is a position at the international level called Region Advisor. We have a Region Advisor, Mary Swanson, and another Region Advisor, Todd Henry, works with Mary. Since Mary was not available to take time off from work, Todd Henry came to Vancouver Island to support our division, to support myself and the district. And we didn't have any actual corporate visits, but the inspiration that happened when we visited some clubs and that people had ideas about starting new clubs and networking, and they said, I know this, I know these people, I'm belonging to this, and we're putting ideas together that are really inspiring, that will help us create more new clubs in the future. And so that's something that the International offers the districts every year. So we took up on that. And also, in addition to that, at the Leadership Fair, Michael invited past International President Gary Schmidt, and he escorted me through some meetings at corporations on the Lower Mainland. And what a learning experience that was. So lots of resources at every level, no matter what it is we choose to do. I had already told in last meeting that we started one club called Capitol Park Superior Speakers. Since then, we have started 2 more clubs, Fraser Valley Dynamic Speakers in Division G, and RHN CPA in Division E. So warm congratulations to those new clubs in our network. In the district, we have incentives for new clubs forming. And the incentive this year is that any club that is chartered by March 15th, 2019, the club is eligible for an incentive for a new club banner or a portable lectern. In addition to that, individuals who initiate the ideas, bring forward the new club lead and help that club to be formed, can receive an incentive as well. Jennifer Almeida, do you mind coming to the front of the room for a moment? Jennifer initiated the idea of the Capitol Park Superior Speakers Club and was highly instrumental in still working with them. And the incentives that she has won is a ladies' core Toastmasters jacket. Congratulations, Jennifer. Yes, I see your coat. You can maybe model it. Yeah. March 15th is the incentive date for that continues. So in addition, to support the clubs that we have and to help us, it takes many hands to build a new club, as well as a lot of other activities that we have. The more hands in, the better. As Mike said in his presentation, if 100 people do one thing, it's better than one person doing 100 things. So in this list, I'd like to congratulate all the individuals who have stepped forward in the recent months to serve as club extension chairs and club retention chairs for all of the divisions, and you'll see their names there. And thank you so much. We have much work to do. I need to help start working with them And so we can continue to build together in the future. In addition, starting new clubs, there's an opportunity for two people to serve as a sponsor, and those sponsors help actually bring the club into being. They gather 20 or more members, they sign them up, they do the paperwork and make sure that club has a healthy start. In addition to that, two individuals can be assigned as mentors. Excuse me, in Toastmasters International, requirement for a mentor is that they stay with the club for the first 6 months. We at the district hope they'll stay for a year, because we have a cycle in Toastmasters of a year at a time, and new clubs as much as existing clubs, because they start off with 17 new members, and they're only allowed to have a certain percentage of existing Toastmasters for growth. They need just a wonderful amount of support. So congratulations for the two recent clubs, for the sponsors and mentors that are named there. I see I have a red light, so I won't name them here. And also club coaches. When clubs have 12 or fewer members, they're eligible to have a coach assigned by the district to help them on-site, to help them realize their potential, offer them good ideas, and that the club is responsible for taking on, and helping those clubs become distinguished. So congratulations to all the club coaches who have already been assigned and the new assignees. And there's another person on there, Lena Ballack, I think her name is?
Lila Ballum.
Yes.
Bassam. Lila Bassam.
Bassam, yes. So the slides are done first. And events and celebrations are a great way for outreach. It's so important for us in these next few months in particular. October dues renewals helped produce our numbers showing 130 clubs instead of 146 where we started. We have to change the momentum for that. April dues renewal will be a highly pivotal time for us as well. So this just shows some of the events that we've taken part in outside. But essentially, the best person to invite a new person to Toastmasters and help everyone, to help new members on their way while they're helping themselves and achieving their own goals, is you, me, the member. And I encourage everyone to continue the good work in doing so. And that is my report.
I would like to add, I don't know if you guys read your emails this morning, but Lark Doley sent out a couple of emails, one of which it says that if you are a club coach moving forward, you'll be able to get as a credit, once you have become a successful club coach and that your club that you're coaching becomes distinguished, you will be entitled to not only get credit as a club coach, but also as a district officer, so that you'll get the double credit towards becoming a DTM. That is something special, something new, and it just got announced today. That's very exciting to hear that. Read your emails. Next up. Hopefully it went out. Maybe it didn't.
Did you guys get it?
You guys get it?
Usually it tells us who the emails go to. Did you guys get an email from Lark Doley this morning?
This morning I didn't check right now.
That was 7:01 a.m.
All right, next.
What's that?
Does it apply to the previous club coach?
No, only for those who have
No, we don't have it.
only those who become, well, I'm not sure. Well, the details will be coming out a little bit more. But this is a very exciting little change that's going to help people who
We can share it.
We'll let you know. Next up, Virginia Keys, our public relations manager, Virginia Keys, CCCL.
So I'm definitely now, I don't know how to move this.
Okay, I'll do it for you.
Well, everyone, okay, we skipped a slide. That's okay. Happy
Oh,
New
sorry,
Year.
you wanna do this?
No, you don't have to. It's just We're off to a fine start, and today is a very special day because you are very special people, and I love face-to-face communication. Right? Isn't it the best? I'm going to do a quick look back at what we've done, and then a quick look forward at the campaigns that we're looking at for the rest of the year. And to also remind you, this is how we keep in touch. And I mean, we have a lot of different ways. We have the monthly newsletter, we have our weekly e-blasts, some that are general, some that are tailored to the division directors. So we really help you in reaching out to your people. We do these amazing seminar Sundays that Michael puts on, and did you know they are all recorded and archived? So if you can't make them, you can always watch them. And by the way, there's a real special one tomorrow night. Okay. Michael and I are doing it. It's about Toastmasters month. Our website, of course, is always up there. And then our Facebook pages, which to me are the drumbeat of the district. If you aren't on one of these, could you please join? Sign up, like the page, keep in touch, particularly our group page. There's so many exciting things that happen in this district, and we don't all know about them. It is a great way to share and to get inspired yourself. There's also another group. It's District 21 Public Relations, kind of a clunky search term. But it is for the VPPRs and anyone who's interested in looking at methods of external communication. So if you're interested in any of those groups, please do join and sign up and participate. Next slide. A quick look back, of course, has been mentioned before. We promoted the Fall Leadership Fair, Pathways Education. We're now looking at club officer training in the next couple of months. We had some great district visits that we were promoting through our Facebook. And these are all great because they were building inter-club connections. So we spent that first half of the year helping you get to know your clubs and getting them to do their success plans and just getting a sense of our responsibilities. This year, of course, we're going to be building memberships. As far as PR is concerned, that's not so much building the memberships, it's promoting guests, promoting people to come, and also raising general awareness in the community of what Toastmasters is all about. And to that, I'm just going to run through. We have 3 campaigns and 3 major tools that we're going to be using in the next couple of months. January right now, we're working on an I Love PR campaign. That's something we started last year under Carol Carter, and I found it really exciting to find out what all these amazing clubs were doing and giving the chance to share your ideas, share your successes, and reaching out. So we're going to be doing that again. There will be a draw at the end of February. All you have to do is share your success, and you'll be put into a draw for a gift certificate, 3 gift certificates. And that purpose of that campaign is to build up for Toastmasters Month, which is a really great way of giving people a tool to go out and leverage the media to raise awareness. And so we'll be talking a lot more about that during this month. I'm always here if you have questions. In our e-blasts, on the website, and in Facebook, we'll be doing a lot of talking about it. Because February is Toastmasters Month for many clubs around the world. Not all, I noticed, but most. We're also in February, and we're doing a speech contest, great thing to promote to the rest of the community. And we have our Talk Up Toastmasters membership building campaign that comes out of TI. In April, of course, is our annual conference. Biggest event of the year for us. And as you all know, who've been to the conferences, it's an amazing place to network and get motivated. Then in May and June, we've got one more membership building campaign to take us to the end of the month. It's the clock. Change, please.
Sorry.
So I'd like to talk about the 3 campaigns, 3 major campaigns, and 1 major campaign I think we'll talk about, and the tools we can use in the next couple of months. So I Love PR is prepping for Toastmasters Month. It's about getting local community coverage because our local newspapers, radio, TV, online publications love your stories. You just have to reach out. And I know that some clubs, Swasson is a great club, and they share on Facebook what they do. So sign up and please learn what this amazing club is doing. How we're going to do media tips and planning. Specifically, we've got 2 Sunday seminars, one's tomorrow. We're going to be asking more general, sort of looking at all the various things you can do in February and get you thinking around using the media, using events, public events to attract the media or to have the media report on them. And on January 20th, we're actually going to go through tips, tricks, news releases, backgrounders, fact sheets, how you pitch, and how you're going to use that proclamation that we expect within a couple of days. Also, we'll be keeping you updated on the website and the VPPR site. Change please. Keep calm, love PR. It really does help. In February as well, we are going to support clubs with select ads in community newspapers. And we have a pretty good budget for that, but we are looking for clubs who need help. So clubs who are really struggling and can use the advertising support in a local community newspaper or equivalent. And that's why I'm going to be asking for feedback and support as to how you think the best use of these funds would be. And so I'm hoping that you'll be talking to your clubs. You may know the clubs. We've got a list of the clubs who are struggling and need support. And I know that the division directors were talking about that earlier today. So that's probably where our focus is going to be. At the same time, if there's a club in Surrey who's having trouble and we go for an ad in the Surrey newspaper, well, you can imagine how many clubs that's going to benefit. So we will be placing these select ads, hopefully in the beginning of February, to also support Toastmasters Month. So please, how you can help is let's confirm those clubs in need. Next slide. We're also going to repeat something we did last year, and those are postcard invitations that we are now going to tweak a little bit and have you give out when you have an external event. So it's not just for giving out to your members to distribute. We want to see you out at events like open houses, like kiosks in the mall, like going to libraries or community centers, or whenever you are interacting. So you have that face-to-face piece where you're actually giving out one of these cards. And as you can see, it's sort of generic on the front side, and on the back side, we're going to be identifying clubs in the region. So it's really important that we have accurate information. I mentioned that a little bit earlier today at the division meeting. You can help just by confirming clubs and contact info. So we're hoping that these tools, the postcard, the invitations, and perhaps a poster that we may be working on, and the ads, and also the proclamation, which is going to come. We're hoping for it in the next week or so. We asked for it in mid-November. It usually take about 6 weeks. That's a BC-wide proclamation, but we've also got local proclamations. I'm hoping to work with people who are interested in requesting a proclamation from their local community. We've done it for Oak Bay before. They love it. So we get to leverage a local proclamation when you're going out and talking to the community. Next, please. And then there's the big event, and I can't let you go without talking about this. It's our rare occurrence, leadership, making a difference. It's our 1 year time to get all our stars in order, line you all up, bring you together. And although we're going to be promoting it every in e-blasts and on the website, and we have a conference website, what's really key, I think, are you people as well for that important face-to-face component of letting your clubs know, letting individual members know, because they always put it off, right? We have 250 registrations that we'd like. We have about 30% of those right now. That's not a lot. Think about District 89, right? They're looking for 500 to 700, and they don't have to work at getting those people. Here we have to work a little bit. It's a great event. I'm sure you all know that. Talk to them about learning. Talk to them about the laughter. Talk to them about the leadership. It's a great way to come together. The rooms are still available right now. Special rates on rooms. I think they're about $125 for double occupancy. Get a roommate, right? Go to Langley. There's a casino there. And there'll be lots of new first-timers and old-timers that you can have a great time with. Plus, guess how hard it is to corner the CEO of Toastmasters International in a room. I happened to meet him at the conference a couple of years ago. He's amazing, and he will give us so much to move forward with. That's it for me. Please, if you have any questions, I'm here, ginnykeith@gmail.ca, or grab me anytime you can. Thank you.
And now we have our finance manager, Mark Carell, DTM, to present the finance report.
I'll try to keep my report short and sweet. We have a lot of numbers in there. I don't want to go through them all, but to keep it brief, the membership revenue is down because, as Sean pointed out, we don't have as many members as we did before. Likewise, also means that our expenses are down because we weren't paying out for some of the incentives that we had planned. So overall, we expect to have a bit of a loss at this point because of our budget numbers. Instead, we have a gain of $254. So we're better than we should be right now. So our closing balance was 97,000 minus our required retention. We have about $80,000 of playroom right now. I don't want to say playroom because we do have a budget we have to follow. So overall, money earned to spend is almost exactly on track, and that one white line would be our net gain. So we don't have a big gain. Overall, there's our budget categories. You can see some variances. Partially, as I say, it's because we aren't paying as many incentives as we planned. And the other part, which I'm currently working on, is some misclassifications. TI wants everything to be in the budget exactly as it was in the budget. When we didn't have the budget made by September 30th, that means you're paying out money without really knowing where it went. So I'm going with a fine-tooth comb, trying to get things reclassified, so most of those variances will disappear. Does anyone have any questions?
I guess the marketing is up just because you're trying to recruit more members, right?
That would be one reason for that, and also because there was a large misclassification that shouldn't have been marketing, but should have been another category too. So there's little funny things all around. And these numbers are as of September 30th, since that was the last quarter close. I'm currently about to close December's quarter. So this was where we were at as of September 30th. Yes?
Mike, I appreciate the work that you do. It's not easy to work with numbers. Can you please go back to the diagram that showed the earning and spending money? Yes. So I can't see the numbers from here. Can you?
In terms of the revenue number, that will be 23,853. In terms of expense, 23,598.
And that $23,000 is from the membership fee, right?
Yes. So the membership fee that the club pays to TI, we get a portion back, which then is our district's revenue expense.
And what are the expenses, the major expenses that we have?
The major expenses that we had would be from conference, so we had to pay for room rental and a bit of PR. We had some marketing incentives and other things like paying for our district websites and things like that. Vacations, PR, there was some of that in there too. Education training, so paying for club officer training and things like this. Admin, so like our any meeting, so we're hosting these online meetings and other things there. Travel, so air directors for club visits, your visits coming here for district officer training. And the other would be a portion that TI is clawing back because districts around the world aren't spending enough of their money.
Okay. Do you have the number? How much was the total of membership fee?
25%.
So that was $100,000.
Yeah, you got the 80 plus day, right?
So you're saying you get 25% back?
But it'd be approximate because we also get other revenue, like for the fall leadership fair, we charged admission, so that would be in the revenues too, right?
Not at this point.
No, that's right,
not
that's September, yeah.
September.
And US exchange.
Yeah, exchange rate also has an impact too.
Yeah, because that's Canadian, right?
Yeah, so this is all in Canadian. So US pays us and US funds it gets converted over. So there's mixing currencies a bit, so it's never completely an even number.
Okay, sorry. Is it?
That's kind of all of my reports. I'm under time, so.
All right. Okay, now we're now gonna have time for the division director report. So please welcome first up our Division A director, Mike Zong. 2 minutes.
This way.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody. Division A Director Mike Zong. What have we been doing for the past 6 months? The results are pretty encouraging in Division A. So the first round of club officer training, 100% of the clubs have met the minimum. At least 4 out of 7 clubs trained. 100% of the club vice president educations were trained in the first round. And then 100% of the club visit reports were submitted on time. Thank you to my area directors. But at the beginning, there was a huge shock for me because I was going to lose one club. One club decided to get suspended, and they no longer had the willingness to fight. But it's okay. I have 3 other clubs, prospective clubs in work, so that hopefully we're going to charter all of them by the end of this year. And moving on in the next 6 months, in addition to the club officer training and division contest that's in progress, so there are some other projects that division and team is putting on. For example, we're trying to get 1 or 2 people in each club of Division A, and as many attendees as possible, and Division B, to group them together and to form an online pathways learning session so that each participant can go back to their own clubs and help with their members to get on track of the pathways. At the same time, my 2 assistants, Tracy and Jennifer, is working on a new member orientation, hopefully before the end of March, so that we can have better membership retention for the second period of the membership renewal. As myself, I'm also working with 2 other former division directors to build a handbook of division directors so that my successors should not start from scratch as I did. And at the same time, I also recognize a lot of the things that my area directors are doing, holding the area council meetings and helping out support the clubs, and I really appreciate what you are doing. Because of you, this all made it possible for me as a division director for my learning, and I hope that will make you learn as well. Thank you.
Division B Director, David Ajwa. ACG ALB, I forgot to say ACG.
Thank you. Well, Toastmasters, directors, area directors, division directors, the objective at the beginning of the year was to ensure that all of our clubs had the required 20 members or a gain of 5 members each. Secondly, the objective was to have all club presidents submit to their areas the club success plans, and eventually the area directors to submit their club success or area success plans. The objectives that were set out were very simple, easily met, because we in Division B believe, as we do with Toastmasters generally, that if you have the required members for each of the clubs, success will follow immediately and eventually right throughout the organization, because it generates that kind of dynamism, that kind of energy, which we are all seeking for our areas, our clubs, our divisions, and directors. The highlights and significant factors for Division B was that first, Virginia was taken away from her. She was the Area 11 director, and she moved up to PR director. That created a vacancy in which Quinn filled. Secondly, Stephen Milne was appointed the assistant division director, and I don't know how Stephen does it, but he's also now the area and the retention director, and he is also going to be the area director. So big congratulations to Stephen. Amber Freer of Area 10 won the prize for the district for being the first to file the full complement of the club success plans. But despite our overall objectives, not all of them were met. So we carry on, and we're going to continue pressing for those club success plans from all of the clubs and the area success plans. Currently, our division has, with 20 or more members, we have 3 clubs. Between 12 and 20 members, we have 11 clubs. Between 9 and 12 members, we have 4, and 8 clubs and under, we have 2. So we did have 1 club that was suspended, but the Capital Park Superior Speakers was newly chartered last month. So we're still at a net of where we were. The action needed going forward: filing of all club success plans for each club, filing of area success plans for 11 and 13, appointment of new area director, which we now have, developing action plans for increased membership for 4 clubs: Advocates, Sandwich Peninsula, Gateway, and Power Toasters, and encouraging one club, Readers and Debaters, to revisit their mission and modify entry qualifications. They have a specialized type of qualification. And lastly, obtaining coaches for Readers and Debaters in James Bay. That concludes my report.
Now up, Division C Director Michael Concise, ACS ALB.
Hello everyone across BC. Keeping it simple, highlights for me really came down mostly to the Growing Stronger Together event that we had our regional advisor, Todd Henry, come up from the Bay Area. And thank you very much to Jen Ireland and to Chris Kozakowski, past district governor, because they were really people who put this mostly together, and I got to kind of help out and chair the event, so it was really quite a special event. And what was even more special about that was Kristen Nichols finally explaining pathways and taking a giant load off my shoulders with understanding of pathways, because I got to understand that for not only the first level, but the first 2 levels of pathways, it's the same for everybody. And just knowing that was a big help. And so big thanks to Todd, Jan, Chris, and to Kristen Nichols for helping with the Growing Stronger Together event. Going forward, so through that I also learned how supportive the district can be to help us out, especially in a spread out district like mine, where one club is 2.5 hours in one direction and the other club is 4 hours up in the opposite direction. And so for me going forward, the goals are really to get the act happening on January 26th, see if I can get 60 people there in Nanaimo, and then follow up 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 follow-up sessions if necessary to get as many people trained by the end of February. And of course we have our division contest at the end of March before we head off to district conference in April. That's it for Division C.
Next up is our Division E Director, Yuhan Chen, ACB ALB.
This is John. Here's a report for Division E for club enrichment in South Delta. Some highlight for first half, we have 1 new club chartered, RHN CPA. However, we lose at least 1 club, might lose another one. So we were working on trying to find an opportunity for new club in East Richmond and Stevenson area. And also we have 2 clubs already met a distinguished goal. We have more than 20 members have at least 5-6 points. And we have a very special events, the music and tabletop nights in November, hosted by one of our member, Richard Cruz. It's a very special event, combine music and the table topics together. And so far we have 55 to 60 educational awards submitted from Division E members, and 1 new DTM, Kendrick, from Enriched Speaker in the past few months. For the plan for the second half, try to identify the potential area and division director for next year. And also, we should do some transition earlier before they get a job. And also, we try to work on we have equal or higher rate for the second round club officer training compared to the first round. We already done the ACT in December, which is the first time. For many years, we done the ACT. We done the training in December, and we have makeup training will be in January 30. And we are looking forward to have at least 2 to 3 divisional promotion events for the second half. Hopefully, we should have 3 at least, and try to find more club coaches to help the few struggling clubs. That's my report.
Thank you very much. Next up is Division E report from Annie Cheng, and to read that will be our very own Administration Manager, Jojo Baum.
Over the course of these past 6 months, Division S has experienced both success and challenges. The area director and the Division F team has worked hard and providing resources, workshops, and promote events on to our members in meeting their leagues flow units together. Our members are motivated to encourage one another to reach higher goals. I've learned from working with my team that teamwork is essential in building success, and as leader, we have to create visions early in the term. Division F lost 2 clubs, Our Lady of Good Communicators and K-Tollers. So we set our goal on supporting existing clubs and continuing to build new clubs. We are currently in process of building 2 more clubs. Alan Colbert, Jenny Peng, and Noe Fallon has hosted several beechcraft workshops with the Semi-Holding House Society that is also in other league with BC Hydro. We learned that in order to have vibrant, healthy clubs, membership growth needs to happen. We kicked off our first promo event with Flatwood Festival on September 8, 2018. It was a successful event with 18 Toastmasters in attendance promoting Hibbing clubs as its best. The review were positive, so we decided to hold another promo event on November 4th inside Semi-Hole Mall. It was a great way to generate interest and bring guests to the door. Based on feedback from Division F, there is also a demand from members in wanting to learn more about pathways. Our team decided to hold 2 pathways and table topic social events in November. We invited pathway guides Dorothy Miller and Daryl Watchett to demonstrate us of how to navigating pathways and answer various questions member may have. It was a great success. Member found it helpful and motivational at the same time, knowing we are here to support in other flow pathways. We've also host free Division ACT events in July and August for the first one of the training. In addition to, we just had our second one main ACT on December 2nd, 2018. Division F will have hosting 2 more makeup officer training on January 25th and February 9th, 2019. We will also be hosting a joint Division F and G makeup training and with Division G on February 16th. Lots of events to look forward in the new year. Our goal in 2019 is to continue supporting all clubs in reaching distinguished and higher. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, Annie couldn't be here. She's on vacation in Taiwan. So now please welcome Carolyn Bray, Division G Director and Distinguished Toastmaster.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd particularly like to thank my wonderful area directors, for 3 of them, for being here today. I'm so pleased with them. They did a wonderful job on giving their club reports, and I can't say enough about them. I'm also extremely happy to mention that we have 1 new club in our division, and hopefully several more new clubs coming up. And also, I am personally very happy that we have a new extension and retention chair who will be, we will be starting our visits to clubs in Chilliwack and Mission and Abbotsford starting next week. And I think that's really important to visit clubs, particularly that are in the outlying areas. Sorry. I am really looking forward also to our makeup training in Abbotsford so that those people can come out and do their training, because it's very difficult for them to come to the regular training. And in general, I'm really pleased with everything that's going on in my division, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the year, particularly the contests, which I love contests, and I'm sure that everyone will have a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to see you all out at the conference, which is always great fun. And if you haven't been to a conference before, please come. It is a great event. Thank you.
Now, attending the thank you very much, Carolyn. Attending the meeting virtually, and because we don't quite have this set up for the audio to be able to broadcast, I am going to read Carolyn Ivy's report for Division K. Area Director visits. Area Directors successfully completed 100% of their club visits in round 1 and expect to achieve the same in round 2. Regarding the Distinguished Club Program, 7 of 14 clubs have already met at least 3 or more of the DCP goals, and 12 clubs are on track to meet their club officer training goal through the next round of accredited club training. 5 clubs in division have 15 plus members and are working to reach distinguished status this year, and membership for the remaining clubs continues to be a struggle. The Division Council will meet again in January to discuss plans to use Toastmaster Month, the Talk It Up Toastmasters membership contest, as well as various club, area, and division speech and evaluation contests as a focus for membership promotion and outreach in February and March. As far as education awards, 11 of 14 clubs have members actively achieving education awards. In total, 57 awards have been completed to date. Pathways Level 1, they've had 16. Pathways Level 2, 11. Pathways Level 3, 3. CC Awards, 8. Advanced Communication Awards, 5. And Leadership Awards, 14. Speech and Evaluation Contest. Area contests will be held the first and second weeks in March. The Division K International Speech and Evaluation Contest is set for Saturday, March 23rd in Kelowna. And that is Carolyn Ivy's report. I do not have a report from Division L, Barbara Bryant, and she's not able to be attending on. Do you have it?
I have it, but she doesn't let me.
You have a report?
Yeah, I have, but she didn't ask me to report.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll skip that then. In the interest of time, because we are way over. So we now, new business. We're now moving to new business. Is there any new district-related business? Yes. The chair recognizes Michael Kazis, whatever. Division C. Director. ACSALB, Division C Director.
Very good. I would like to make a motion that we hold the 2020 annual District 21 conference at the Coast Bastion Hotel in Nanaimo from April 23rd to the 26th in 2020.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Okay, the chair recognizes Michael Bowen, seconding it. Okay, any discussion on the motion? Did you hear it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, you all know Nanaimo 2020. What's the date? April 23rd to 26th. Okay, all those in favor? All opposed, if any? The motion is carried.
All right.
Congratulations. Any other new business? Oh, yes. As Michael was pointing out, our quorum has slipped a little bit during the meeting. We actually had a couple people who did not come back in it, even though we counted earlier. So two people are not currently present who were originally signed in. We're not quite sure what happened to them.
Do we know where they went? Margaret Wong and Cliff Quinn?
Yeah, just statutory board.
Oh, she didn't
Okay,
go work.
so we lost her.
Anybody know about Cliff Quinn?
The stuff is still here. I'm not sure what happened to it. Okay, so we actually lost 2 people, but we still have a quorum. We'll just be amending the percentage so we have the right numbers. But instead of having 32, we have 30. So we needed 1/3 and 50% to conduct any significant votes. And we have out of 49, so we have more than a quorum. All right, any other new business?
No, I just have a question that is not related to.
Can you hold it? Because we're running over time. So if it's relevant to district business, though, feel free to ask it. If not, then we hold off? Okay, got it. Hearing none, we're going to move to announcements. So, announcements. Hang on, that is, because of the detail of this motion, then I'll check. Okay, announcements. Okay, announcements. Michael, do you want to read the announcement?
Sure. The 2019 District 21 Conference will be held April 12th to the 14th, 2019 in Langley, BC at the Cascades Casino Resort. Hope you can all make it.
All right. Any other further announcements?
Yes.
The next meeting will be held at the district conference on April the 12th. The district executive council meeting will be held on April 12th on the Friday. So please make sure that mark your calendars and prepare to be there for that. Right. With no further business then on our agenda with no objections, I declare the District 21 District Executive Committee meeting adjourned.